What's going on, Falcon fans? This is your boy Rick Kundu coming back at you with another video. Today we're gonna talk about the Atlanta Falcons. Um, Remaining games of the season. We're gonna talk about can they salvage this season? Still have 8 games left. Everything's still in front of these Atlanta Falcons. Um, just they don't win on a 4 game skid. Of course, we know the things that's been hindering this team from being successful on game day, being able to come away with the W. They have been really competitive in all games, except probably 2 games. Um, but can this team salvage this season? That's one of the things we're definitely going to be looking at today. Um, and we'll see how it pans out for this team. Also, what should Atlanta Falcons be doing these last 8 games? This when you come in with a young team like Atlanta Falcons have, you don't want to look at everything as just complete failure because you are trying to build something for sustainable future. So, yes, this is going to be probably a disappointing season for our Atlanta Falcons, but at the same time, there are some things that this team can do moving forward, especially from player standpoint, personnel, trying to get this thing better. Um, you know, the question is going to be at the end of the day, what's going on, Danny? Um, can I have an N-word pass? I don't know what that means, but you know, um, one of the things is going to be what is the comments I'm getting? I don't know what these comments are getting, but one of the things going to be is this regime going to be able to survive this season? That's going to be really the question. Is this regime going to be able to survive this season? And right now, we really don't know, right? So we'll just have to see what's going on, Matt and Jack. But one of the things we want to look at today is just the injury report. Looking at these Atlanta Falcons, so um, looking at the day, Lakel London was a full participant. D. Alford was limited. Mac Hughes was limited. Malik Vernon was limited. Jake Matthews was limited. Limited. For did not practice, guys. This is a long list, so stand by. Drake London with the illness. Jamal Agnew with a foot. Josh Woods with a hamstring. Leo McCullum, of course, he just had a baby. Congratulations to him. Just having his kid. D'Angelo Malone ankle seems like he's going to be going on the IR, so that's going to be really interesting. Um, Brandon Dorless did not practice with an oblique. Leonard Floyd with a hamstring. He missed last week. Probably, I think more than likely, he probably missed another week with a hamstring. Those are really serious injuries that you just don't come back from that quick. Chris Lindstrom with a foot. Mike Matthew Bergeron with an ankle. Zach Harrison with a knee. And Sam Roberts, who's probably going to go on IR as well, did not practice. That is a long injury report. Most of these guys probably going to practice. Coming up here soon. We just have to see what it seems like. So we'll definitely get to see. So we're going to check it out and see what's going to look like, you know, on Thursday's injury report. But as to the day, a lot of guys that was out. We did hear from Michael Penix Jr. and the head coach today, so we're going to talk about that as well, guys. Before we get into the topics I'm going to talk about today, if you have not already, go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that notification bell so you're not dropping another video. Please hit the like button. So I know you guys out here to talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come here and talk about. That's right, these Atlanta Falcons. So, guys, the question is, can the season be saved? Right, and that's the question that everybody wants to know. Um, most people have gave up on the season, including myself. I'll be honest with you. I don't think the issues that Atlanta Falcons have can be fixed this season, in particular because the head coach willingness not to make any changes. Is going to stick with status quo, and keep things going. We went over on Monday some of the issues that's plaguing this team. One in particular, um, is the third down issue. Atlanta Falcons probably the worst third down team going, especially these last 3 weeks, to say the least. I think they're 3 for 28 on third down. You can't win games like that But on the other opposite side of that, if you want to, look on the glass half full side, they still had opportunity to win two of those games. Being so terrible on third down, they still was like right there. You go back to the Patriots game, they lost by 1 point, right? Um, the last week's game in Berlin, they lost in going to overtime. So two games, they could have definitely won both of those games. But the issue, you know, um, is that third down has been plaguing these guys for 3 weeks. They've been the worst third down team in 3 weeks. And in the issue with the head coach not wanting to actually go in and make any changes on the offensive side of the ball, you know, it's not gonna. It seems like it's not gonna get better. So, personally, I don't think they can fix that. I think they probably will get a little better on third down, but if you're gonna keep doing the same thing, keep calling the same plays, being so predictable, not making adjustments that obviously everybody can see that needs to be made. I don't see how it can get any better. But they do have opportunity, right? That's on the offense side of the ball. They can't get on stay on the field on third down. The time of possession being flipped upside down. If you go back to the wins when Atlanta Falcons, own the time possession. You go back early in the season, it was like one of the top two teams, them in Buffalo, that was leading in time possession. Keeping the other opposing offense off the field. That has not been the case lately, right? And so you go to the defensive side of the ball, the biggest issue is they cannot stop the run, right? This is one of the issues that I personally highlighted, coming into this season, right? Because they so light in the defensive front line. And if you want to be critical of any of the decisions that Terry Fontenot and the front office made about bringing in personnel, the fact that they didn't address, that the middle of the defense, right? And that's one of their biggest issues. They can't stop the run. Teams been running up and down the field. I mean, we had A Chain go off on us. We had Christian McCaffrey go off on us. We had Jonathan Taylor go off on us. This is starting to be a trend, and it's been a trend, throughout the season, giving up run plays. And like I said, the time possession has definitely been flipped on its head. So, I don't know if they can fix those issues, because I think it's more not a scheme. I think it's more personnel. They don't have the personnel to be able to go out and fix some of these issues. On the offensive side of the ball, I think it's the coaching staff, right? Not being able to, help the young quarterback out and improve and get better. That's bad, right? That's some of the things that you cannot, just continue to let that. He's not growing, guys. It seems like he's progressing, but it seems like he's not getting worse, but he's not getting any better either. Right. And that's what you want to see from a young quarterback, week to week, getting better. The more defenses he see, the more unscouted looks that he's going to look at week in and week out. You want to see improvement there, and that's not what we're seeing, right? Some of the same mistakes are happening. They keep talking about communications, not picking up blitzes and all that kind of stuff, right? And you don't know, and we're on the outside looking in, so we don't know who fault it is, right? We can say it's the quarterback. If did he make the call in the offensive line and then get it? Did they not understand? We don't know what's going on. The biggest part we do know, in the crucial downs and in the gotta have it moments, and that's on third down, the offense is not performing, right? You look at the numbers going up and down the field, but on third down, it's been horrendous, especially the last 3 weeks. So that's one of the reasons why, personally, I don't think it can be fixed, because no changes being made. He came out and says no changes going to be made. Now, if you make changes, maybe they willing to change some things. Maybe they could get better. Right? We see the talent on this team. It's not like they void of talent. We might have underestimated the lack of pass catchers on this team from a receiver standpoint. Darnell Mooney, for whatever reasons, has definitely been a disappointment for us. His performances, his connection between him and Michael Penix has not been there, right, at all, right. It was reported today that he sustained a collarbone injury in training camp. We did not know that. But I don't know if that's the reason why the connection has not been there. The connection with those guys was better last year, for the 3 games that Michael Penix played, and he hadn't even practiced with the guy. So it's it don't make any sense. We haven't seen Casey Washington. They got David Steele out. I don't think David Steele got a catch yet in this season, but he's been out there playing, but they haven't even got a target. Michael Penix did miss him on a big throw in the game this past weekend, but they did work out receivers this week, right? Raheem Morris said they always work out people, so we haven't seen any transactions on those guys they work out, so we don't know what's the status of them. But we do have some guys on the practice squad. They could definitely be again. Chris Blair, a guy that has had connections with Michael Penix last year. Played for Michael Penix, played with the team last year as well when Michael Penix came in. So he's a guy they could bring in. Nick Nash is another guy that had a really, really good collegiate career. They're coming in, another guy. So they got guys on the practice squad, even though they actually put guys on through runs this weekend to see could they come in and help. I don't know, right? But we know the number 2 receiver position has been null and void, right? Drake London is that chemistry is there 100%. The chemistry between Michael Penix Jr. and Drake London is there 100%. It's there. There's no other way to look at it. It's really there. So, man, I just don't know, guys, what they can do, right? Can they save this season? They got 8 games left, right? And you look at the schedule, it's 3 big games that I'm really thinking about. No one taking that from other teams because the Atlanta Falcons have proven that, if another team is struggling, they could be the team they can get back right with. So I'm not going to take anything from any other teams on this schedule, but the 3 games that I'm really looking at is the Seattle Seahawks game, the Arizona Cardinals game, and the Los Angeles Rams. Those 3 games right there, I don't know if the Falcons beat those teams. I'm just be honest with you, right? Now the other games, the 2 against the Aints, I think the Atlanta Falcons should win those games. The game against the Jets, the Atlanta Falcons should win that game. We should get our get back this weekend against the Carolina Panthers. So I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm not 100% sure if the Atlanta Falcons could salvage this season because of the schedule. I picked them to finish 8 and 9 now because I think I can see they can win 5 out of the last 8, right? But I'm not 100% sure about that, so we'll just have to see. Let's look at some of these comments before we'll continue. Okay. T. Terry says Raheem is turning MPG to another Josh Freeman, who career he destroyed in Tampa. Don't say that. So that's good way to look at it, man. Good way to look at it. Good evening, Connor. I believe the Falcons are done. When it comes to our Falcons, I don't believe miracles. Believe in miracles. And if the Falcons lose on Sunday, Marvis is gone for sure. Yeah, a lot of people saying this is a must win for him this weekend. So we'll definitely get to see what's going on, James. Guns and Games said I should join the National Guard for benefits of college. What? Say no audibles. We don't know if they got audibles. That's the thing. We because we really don't see it, right? We don't know if he audibling out. Now it sounds like they call 2 plays in the huddle, right? And then you get the look, and then you switch out and make sure you're checking to the right play. I don't know, man. We don't really know what's being called and what every guy was supposed to do. That's why sometimes, when we try to play the Monday morning quarterback, we kind of don't get what should have been done, right? We're just looking at it from the outside looking in, like that guy was open. Why he didn't throw it there? Like this guy came scotch free. Why Michael Penix didn't call the check? Maybe he did and they didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Or we just don't really know what's going on. James said they're out of sync. You're 100% correct. John Marino said the Falcons special team need to step up for sure. Man, dude, by lose his job, man. Special teams been really bad this year. Um, that's another reason we lost in Indianapolis as well, right? You can't pinpoint one thing, but yes, that contributed to the special team was not good. So that's a great point. James said they have to win. Yeah, this is a must win for them. That's what a lot of people saying. Um, 2 seasons over. Play all the guys. Practice squad. MPG looks like he's been broken. Yeah, man, you gotta heard him today. If you go back and look at the look at the look at his press conference, man. Like, yeah, I don't care what people say. They start putting God in, and you put your faith in God and stuff like that, man. He was like, this is a confident kid, man. We go back and listen to, during training camp, he said it's going to be the best offense in the league, right? What happened? what happened, right? So it's not good, right? It's not good. But to go back to, can it be saved? Can they make adjustments on defense, right, to be able to stop the running game? This week is going to be another challenge for that. Rico Dowdle having a career year. They still got Chuba Herbert there as well. That's what they want to do. They want to run the ball on this team. And you guys go back to my last video. That's the blueprint. You run the ball, keep, have that time possession you want, from a team standpoint, and to control the game and limit Atlanta Falcons possessions. That's how they're gonna beat us. And then they get us in third and long, right? That's the blueprint, man. So the Atlanta Falcons got to have a come to Jesus moment and be like, this is eating our eating our lunch. We need to fix this. We know what the issues are, right? Sometimes you look at games, you look at teams, and you're like, man, we can't pinpoint what's wrong. Well, why we keep losing these games? And for the Atlanta Falcons, it's simple, man. It's really simple. They suck on third down on offense, and they can't stop running on defense. It's that simple. That simple. And then special teams giving up big plays. Like, this is not something, and Raheem Morris asked, this is something that can be fixed. It seems like it is. Like, I don't know if stopping the run, this can be fixed. Like I said, it could be a personal issue, right? I don't think it's a scheme. I don't think it's coaching. I don't think they got the right players to be able to stop the run. I don't, man. David Onyemata is good. Zach Harrison been out last couple of weeks. That could be the reason why. If they get Zach Harrison back, maybe that helps. They let Taquan Graham go. I don't know if he contributed that much this season anyway. But now we got Sam Roberts out, the guy that I thought he was really helpful in the run game. Lakel London, maybe he could be the answer. Another guy that's coming off the practice squad. So it's simple for these guys. That's why it's so frustrating, guys. Like, you look at teams, you're like, man, they just ain't good enough this year. They don't have the talent. But we can't say that about this team, that they don't have the talent. They like to win 2 games against teams that don't like 2 games. They could have easily beat the Patriots. They could have easily beat the Indianapolis Colts, despite all the freaking miscues that they had in both games. Like, they're not that far away. And that could be the only reason why Raheem Morris keeps his job. But he needs to turn it around now, right? He needs to turn it around now. Only problem is if he's not willing to make changes in areas that definitely need to change. You can't keep saying we're going to find a way, but you keep doing the same thing, right? We're going to need to find a way to get a win. We need to find a way. No shit, you need to find a way to get a win. But if you keep doing the same thing, it's not going to be better, man. So that's – said play inside linebacker. I'm not sure what the LB mean. Let's see. Say Ricondo. Say if Marvin get fired, whom would you like to see the Falcons coach? You sold me, John. I'm gonna say Kubiak. Bring Kubiak in, or even John Gruden, man. I like John Gruden as well. I know his issues with the NFL, whatever, but I think John Gruden would be a really, really good um, choice for Atlanta Falcons if they decide to move on from Raheem Morris. And really, that's going to be up to him, man. He got 8 games to give his fan base and the owner a reason to keep him on, man. He really do. All right, if he goes out and stink it up these last 8 games, yeah, he's going to be done, man. He's going to be done. But he has an opportunity to turn this thing around, you know. And for references, guys, let's he has been on a team that started out 3-6 and went to the playoffs. He's seen it. Seen it with the Los Angeles Rams. Now he wasn't a head coach; he was a defensive coordinator, but he's seen it, so it could be done. It's not impossible. I don't think it's gonna be done. I'm just telling you, I'm not finna sit here and like lie to you guys. I feel like I think they're gonna get it done. I don't think because like just went through all the reasons why. Stuff that they can't fix, man. They can't stop the run. They terrible on third downs. Now they get better on third downs, but if they're gonna keep doing the same thing on offense, it's never gonna happen. So um, that's why I don't think it's gonna be. T. Terry said Raheem can't coach a little league team. Like I said, see, this is the thing. They're not getting destroyed, right? So they missing something, and to me, I already told you they're missing. They're missing. Seems like they're missing something on defense. To be able to stop the run and decision making sometimes on defense. Like you get cute in the third and long. I'm not going to relitigate the play call they be doing, but the offensive coordinator decision by Raheem Morris, man, it's starting to be more suspect by the minute. Be more suspect by the minute. And I know you guys need to see everything that people put out there. So you look at the most successful teams, and a lot of those quarterbacks, it's up on the center. They run a lot of play action pass. Like I'm saying, man, if you got a great running game, which Atlanta Falcons used to, they ain't got no more. I don't know what happened to it, but the great running game that they used to have, play action pass is a young quarterback best friend, man, and they don't. There's something missing, man. Like they don't get it. Like it seems like the stubbornness or the willingness to stick to what you're doing, and it ain't working. Like I don't get it. I don't get it at all. You say Diablo coming back? Yep, he'll be back next year. He'll be back next year. I mean, next week. I say next year. Next week he'll be back next week. John Randall said yes. Kubiak. Yeah, I think Kubiak could be a really good choice, man. I really do. I do believe that. Let's see here. Eddie says they can't set defensive front up right because their fear of secondary being exposed, especially if they can't get to the quarterback, if missed tackles and running back. See, stuff like this right here. Like, I don't know, Eddie, did you watch the game? They was getting to the quarterback. They had 7 sacks. They was getting to the quarterback. So it's not getting to the quarterback. Getting to the quarterback is not an issue this year. That is not the issue. It's not the issue, man. Not getting to the quarterback. Stopping the run is the issue, right? Every time teams don't want to pass on Atlanta Falcons because if you go back and look, when teams pass on Atlanta Falcons actually been really, really good in pressuring the quarterback this year. We can't stop the run, man. That's the problem. That is the problem. We can't stop the run. Missed tackles, yes, that is an issue. But getting to the quarterback is not an issue. It's not an issue at all. So they fixed that. It's a miracle, right? Because the Atlanta Falcons, they never had a pass rush, but somehow, some way, they got a pass rush. But they cannot stop the run. So that's the issue. That is 100% the issue. And he said Gruden would work with the current Falcons. He would rebuild, which would take a couple of years too. Now Kubiak would work because he is going to run the ball with multiple running backs. You don't know if John Gruden work. I think he'll work. Um, they really don't have a 3-5. Yeah, it's a personnel issue. I agree with you 100%. Yep, I agree. They don't have personnel. I think it's that I agree, and that's where if you want to scrutinize the front office is the personnel. They don't have the personnel to run it, and they had one good solid linebacker that go from sideline to sideline, and he got hurt, which made it worse. Um, K. Nellis is probably more of a pass rusher than an inside linebacker, but he is our leading tackler. So he's been doing his thing, but he more probably a pass rusher. And you go back to his days with the Aints. That's what he excel in. Here with the Atlanta Falcons, that's what he excel in. But he's been functional as a middle linebacker. But when Diablo went out, they just pretty much messed up the whole team. I agree with that. So that's big on that statement. Um, the Rams quarterback being on the center, that's where Zach Robinson came from. That's what I'm saying. See, that what don't make no sense, right? He came from Sean McVay. Rams one of the teams that run play action more on the center more than anything, right? And they got an old quarterback, right? Matthew Stafford is old. He can't. He's not mobile, but he utilized that play action pass, right? And it's set up because if you go on the center, I know I'm saying I have to do it all the time, but sometimes put the quarterback on the center to just give them different look to the team, man. The whole pistol thing, every play is gets played out, man. It's not working. It's not working at all. Say I'm hoping, Ricondo, that you and the Falcon fans make some noise in Atlanta for Kubiak. I mean, that was the text. Yeah, man. We're gonna make some noise. Like I said, we're gonna see what happens, man. Like I said, it's really up to Raheem Morris if he's gonna be here next year. That's what it really boils down to. That's what it really boils down to. All right, so the next bullet we're going to talk about is what the plans of Atlanta Falcons need to be working on for the remaining 8 games of this season. That's what what we need to be thinking about. And number one is getting Michael Penix right. You know, they developing Michael Penix. That should be the number one on the top of their list for the last 8 games. You need to get Michael Penix in some kind of rhythm, right? To develop him more, right? He's not progressing as we would like. He had a bad game in Berlin. It's just no other way to look around it. He didn't play well, um, but they're not helping him either, right? Like I said, those third and longs, like if you run the ball on first down and you get 3 yards, so it's 2nd and 7, right? They should run the ball again. That's how you help your young quarterback out, right? If you get another 3 yards, now it's 3rd and 4. Now you getting in down in distance on third down, which is easier to complete. But if you go, run the ball on second and first down, you get 3 yards. It's now 2nd and 7, right? 2nd and 7, and then you pass incomplete pass. Now it's 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7 and more is hard. It's no other way to look at it. Go around and look. 3rd and 7 is not an easy completion, right? And that's what's happening, right? If you go back and look at some of the Atlanta Falcons third downs over these last 3 games where they've been 3 for 28 on third down, right? A lot of them been long, down the distances for the young quarterback. But so Zach Robinson is not doing what he needs to do, right? Don't abandon the run because you only picked up 3 yards. Run it again, man. Run it again. You might break it. You might get a first down on second down, right? But abandoning the run too many times in Berlin, we ran it on first down and we passed his next 2 downs, right? Instead of run, pass. Let's do this. He's a young quarterback. Help him out, right? The passing game was not working, but we abandoned it too quick, right? Or maybe pass on first down and then try to get the defense off, a little bit of something, man. But doing the same thing over and over again, it's not working for this team, and that's where we see the development of Michael Penix is not happening like it should. So number one, the first thing they need to do is identify um, how they can develop Michael Penix to be better going into next season. Now, you will say, what if they're not going to be part of the regime next season, right? Well, the only way they're going to be successful is the quarterback get better. So it works with them either way. They develop by developing Michael Penix, maybe you start to win some games, and then you'll be here next year to see, the work of that development that you put in. But I'm gonna be honest with you, that should be their number one thing is trying to make sure Michael Penix develop because he needs to be the future of the franchise if that's the way we're going to look at it. Right? I hear this nonsense about people giving up on already. It's ludicrous. They need to stop that. Right? He's a young quarterback in this league. Yes, he's on the older side, whatever, but at the same time, he has all the arm talent in the world. Right? He does not turn the ball over. He's not a turnover machine. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He just the little mistakes they're piling up, right? And it's in crucial moments, right? It's third downs, right? It's in the games, in the halves. Those things you can work on those things, and those are things that you know part of getting a young quarterback develop is what they need to be focusing on. So that's the number one thing they need to work on. They need to find out about Kyle Pitts, right? What they want to do with him, right? Um, do they plan on signing him after this season, right? That connection between Kyle and Penix, is it a really good connection? Something that they want to see, here in the future. That's one of the things they need to do. So, um, development of Michael Penix, the connection with Kyle Pitts needs to be something they need to look at, right? They need to look at guys like Casey Washington. I would say look at guys like Nick Nash. Look at guys like what's his name? It's slipping my mind, guys. Other receiver, Chris Blair. There you go, Chris Blair. Look at guys like Nick Nash, Chris Blair. Um, they need to look at those guys and see can they be the future. Casey Washington, right? They need to look at them this season to see if something they need to invest in is another receiver, right? We probably do, but we still need to see what they got in house, right? Those guys have not had opportunities like they should have. You need to put them in the game, see what you got, right? Let's do it, right? You got them on the practice squad. You need to be able to do that, right? They need to be able to go out and find out if those young guys can play ball. Nick Nash, Chris Blair, Casey Washington. They need to find out about those guys, right? We know we got in Drake London. We thought we know we had in Darnell Mooney, but maybe Darnell Mooney, I think he got one more year in his contract. Maybe he's going to be the odd man out here soon. So that's one of the things they need to look at. So that's on the offense side of the ball, right? They need to make sure Michael Penix is developing. Then they make sure they find out about the connection with Kyle Pitts. Is that something you want to move forward with? And then you want to be able to look at your young receivers and see if they could be part of this thing, right? We know Tyler Algier might be his last season. So you got Carter, right? Maybe you want to see if Renee Carter can give you as well because you're going to be losing Tyler Algier, right? So that's on the offense side of the ball. Those are some of the things you look at, right? You got your offensive line. You should have Caleb McGarry back, Jake Matthews, Matthew Bergeron, Ryan Nuzul, and Chris Lindstrom, right? You good. You good at offensive line, so it's not a big thing, but developmental Kyle Pitts. Development of Michael Penix, the connection with Kyle Pitts and those young receivers, you can see what's going on. That's what they need to be doing these last 8 games, right? Still trying to win because that's probably part of their job. Security is trying to win games. So that probably should be above trying to develop Michael Penix, right? Win games. But in the same time, those things, if you get this young core, you see how much talent you actually have on this team going into next season, it would be huge, right? On the defensive side of the ball, Kobe Bryant, right, a guy that was undrafted. A lot of people had him going, in the draft, but he did not get drafted. So the Atlanta Falcons got him on the squad. Kobe Bryant, we don't know, how long Mike Hughes is going to be here. So I would give Kobe Bryant an opportunity to come out there and play some games. See, they can elevate him. See, they can get him on the field. I mean, this guy was a guy that, the University of Kansas, that had a lot of turnovers, right? He caused a lot of turnovers. And he needed to give him opportunity, put him on the field. So that's one of the people that I definitely think that that they need to look at. Look at a guy like Kobe Bryant on on our defensive line. I think they should just let Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. loose. Just let them loose. Let those guys be the bona fide starters moving forward. We like what they did. They took turns from week to week. Getting strip fumbles, right? Jalen Walker get a strip fumble, James Pierce get it. James Pierce get a strip fumble, Jalen Walker get it, right? Just let those guys do what they do. Let them get more and more in tune on what they're building, right? You got to find out about Brandon Dorless. You love what you see from him, right? So that young defensive core that you got, let those guys continue to grow and let them build, right? All those young guys, man, play them. Play those young guys. Now it's the time. It's no time to put the old heads in there and see what they got. We already know what they got. Go ahead and put the young guys in there and let those guys learn on the job, right? The more play time they get, right? And they're contributing, right? Like I said, we've seen what those two rookies did in these last two games, right? Standing on business, right? Making that the reason for them coming back in the first round looks like a pretty good pick. Now, right now, Atlanta looked like a top 10 pick in the draft, and everybody's going to be like, man, they gave away, a first round pick for next year, and they're going to be a top 10 pick. Look, man, all you can say, we picked our 2026 pick in this year's draft, and that's James Pierce Jr. And he's owning up to it. So it is what it is. But that young core that Atlanta Falcons got on defense to go along with, Xavier Watson, Billy Bowman as well. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. And let's see what happens. 8 games left. Like I said, this regime, maybe Arthur Blank already gave them, hey, I'm going to give you one more year, no matter how this season turn out. And if that's the case, you need to go all in working towards next year, right? Now, if he's telling you, hey, I need to see some improvement this year, you're going to be out the door, right? Then they got to do what they got to do. But in my opinion, I feel like the season already lost anyway. So you need to go ahead and develop these young guys, man. Zach Harrison, Brandon Dorless, Rook Rororo, James Pierce Jr., Jalen Walker, Billy Bowman, Xavier Watts, right? There you have it, guys. That's a nice little nucleus of young players, talented players that you got, right? You can build around that, right? You just need to figure out what you need. That's all they need to do. You got Jesse Bates, you got AJ Terrell still here. You have some veterans, so they just need to figure out, play some of these young guys, get Kobe Bryant in there, see what he could do. Like I said, Mike Hughes, I don't know if it'd be so much of a downgrade letting Kobe Bryant get some op, right? We don't know, right? Those things we need to see, right? Billy Bowman's back, Xavier Watts been solid. Those 2 first round picks we got been solid. Man, Brandon Dorless been a breath of fresh air, man. He's been really all over the place, right? And if you go look at the sack numbers, it's everywhere, right? It's not one person dominating, which is that's what you want. They're doing it by committee, and that's what you love to see. It's no other way to look at it. So that's what the Atlanta Falcons should be doing these last 8 games on defense side of the ball. So look at some of these comments, man. See how many people agreeing with them cooking. Let's see here. He said Falcons has thunder and lightning backfield. Zach doesn't how to use them, and can he and his offense go? Yeah, he. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I think one day Zach Robinson is going to be a really good offensive coordinator. It's just not right now. I think the moment's too big for him, man. He need a veteran quarterback. I think if he had a veteran quarterback, his offense probably be better off. And we seen that with Kirk Cousins last year when he was 6-3 instead of 3-6. So, bro, stop wasting time talking about Raheem is gone. My cousin who works for the Falcons told me that Raheem's job is secure based on how they're building for the future. Hey, we'll see. We'll see. It's secure right now because they got 8 games left. Let them lose. Keep losing. We'll see how secure it is. We'll see how secure it is. And who your cousin? Don't be throwing out names. Who your cousin? Tell us your cousin name. How he could be telling he worked for the Falcons. I know the staff for the Falcons. Who your cousin? However, he did say there is internal discussions on the ongoing possibility of staff changes. Oh yeah, what's name done? What's name done deal? Zach Robinson, bye. It's like what Hyatt sing, bye. Yeah, Zach Robinson done, man. I just hit that one. John Moreno says NFL teams not letting coaches having 2 losing seasons. Some get 1 year. Owners need to fill seats. All that is true. But see, the saving grace for Raheem Morris is what Eddie just talking about. The fact that one of the issues that we all can agree on is Zach Robinson, right? If he make the change there, people are going to give him an opportunity to stay, right? If he say he's going to make an offensive coordinator change at the end of the season, people are like, okay, well, you know what I'm saying? Because the problem we have, I agree with you guys, you could have did that earlier, man. So the way that they didn't do it is what's making everybody peace because everybody can see it, right? Right. Zach Robinson need to go to Oklahoma State, let him do it, and then you bring in another offensive coordinator, and we'll see what happens, right? But we don't know, man. We don't know. And it says, well, you don't know who I know. Why you think I always right? No, hey, I just want to know your cousin name. I'm just saying. You say your cousins work for the Falcons. Who your cousin? Don't be throwing out names. Don't be throwing out names willy nilly, man. We want to know. We want to know who your cousin is. So there you have it, guys. I mean, honestly, the Atlanta Falcons have a really, really good opportunity to build for the future, right? It sucks that we got to spend the last 8 weeks, going through this up and down team we've seen all season, right? If they have a good showing this weekend, everybody will be like, okay, where has that been? Where has that been all season, right? Right? Or it could be more of the same. We don't know. We don't know what the Atlanta Falcons team is going to show up. What we do know is that 3 games this season, they've been really, really good. The last 2 games, they had 100% chance to win both of those games, despite the obvious issues that you can see, right? The third down issues, not being able to stop the run. In both games, right? That's been an issue these last 2 weeks. But with all those issues, right? The issues on special teams in Berlin, the Atlanta Falcons still have opportunity to win both of those games. So, like I said, if you're a person that looks at things glass half full, right? They're your silver lining right there. They could have won both of those games. If they win both of those games, man, this is a whole different conversation that we're having right now for Raheem Morris, Zach Robinson, all those guys. Because even though those issues are there and they're glaring that you can see it, they'll be winning. You know, I love what Shannon Sharp says, and this is one of the things that I think is so true. You never expect something in a win that you win in a loss. That's where it is, right? So even if Atlanta Falcons had won both of those games, the fact that they was terrible on third down, the fact that they couldn't stop the run, the fact that the offense looked so predictable, those issues are still there. So it's kind of good that they didn't win because they'll come out and just continue to do the same crap because they got W's. This way, you have to acknowledge the things you need to fix, and they can go out and fix those things. So that's what I'm hoping, and that's what we all should be hoping we can get from this Atlanta Falcons team. John says, I want to know too, who's your cousin? I believe Marvin's gone after this season. See, somebody else want to know who your cousin, man. You throwing out your cousin work for the Falcons. We want to know who your cousin is. I mean, I'm not gonna be like this guy said this because he worked for the Falcons. We just curious. Just us and all the other fans here on YouTube. We want to know who your cousin is, man. Because right now, there's no way if the Atlanta Falcons continue playing the way he playing, he's going to keep his job. I can say this though. I can say this. Let me move this. I can say this. And I don't want this. And this is the reason why I'm saying this. Is that if Michael Penix is the future of this franchise, it's not a really, really good idea. Is to bring in a whole new regime with a quarterback. I don't like that at all. I don't like it because the GM, the coach, did not pick and draft that quarterback. So we don't know how much confidence they're going to have him. Now, doing the pitch, right, doing their interview, they're going to say, yeah, I can work with Michael Penix Jr., I can work with him. But deep down inside, you'll be like, I didn't think he was that good. When I was with the other team, so he wasn't even on our radar to be drafted. But of course, they're gonna say anything, to get the job, for the Falcons. But then, do they really believe in him? Because we know that Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot don't believe in Michael Penix because they drafted him. They drafted him, so that's what I'm saying. They drafted him, so start a new regime. I don't really like that at all because of that, right? If they had to go out and get a new quarterback and start all over, I get it. But the fact that, a guy that they picked, think about it now. They brought in Kirk Cousins in March, right? And then, 35 days later, they went out and drafted Michael Penix because they believed in him that much. Right, so we know that the organization line is still with Michael Penix Jr. So they're gonna give him every opportunity to be the guy that they think he can be because they drafted him. Another regime is not going to be that. Give him that much leeway, right? So that's the only part that when Eddie's talk about building for the future, I can kind of see that. And an easy fix is just get a new offensive coordinator in and let him say he can fix Michael Penix Jr. Right? There you go. That's an easy fix. So it kind of seems like it could be the case, but I can say this. Raheem Morris got to help himself by winning some games. He got to help himself by winning some games. That's what needs to happen, man. That's how it's going to make it easier decision for Mr. Blank to keep him on the staff, and that's being able to win some games to give the fan base some hope. Like, man, if we fix that, that one spot. And I'm thinking offensive coordinator, we got an opportunity. We could be a whole lot better, right? We got to see Michael Penix Jr. get better, through these last 8 games. That's important. But, starting over is it's not good for it's not good, man. It's not good for a defense, right? This defense is playing really good. They got personnel issues now. We know that, right? Being able to stop the run. But man, this defense is playing really, really good. Some of these guys are playing better than we ever would expect it. Brandon Dorless, you see what he's doing. Ruko Roro, you love what you've seen from your 2 first-round picks, right? You see this, man. You see the development of these players. So starting over, don't like it. I don't like it at all. But what can you do if the head coach so stubborn and don't admit that he need to make changes, right? And he might get his hand forced at the end of the season, but he has to win games now so it can ease the angst from the fan base and from the owner. Because if he don't, man, I mean, trust me, people are already calling for the chopping block for him. It just bottom line. And you look at his overall total record as a coach. It's not something that's attractive at all. It's not, right? So, he's already on on thin rope. So I'm just saying, man. I'm just telling you. So that's something that you got to do. I bet you he ain't getting fired. What's your cousin name? How much? Name your price. Whatever, dude. What's your cousin name? You give your cousin name, we'll bet. He says, plus he works there like 2 of my classmates. Man, bye. I'm done with you. I'm done with you. 2 of your classmates work there too. Man, whatever, dude. You're a trip, man. who your classmates, man? Like you gonna drop no names. No names at all. Eddie, you a trip, man. You are a trip. All right, guys, let me know what you guys think about today's topics and what you think about Atlanta Falcons. Can they save the season? Right? Is it, can they save it? What do they have to do, in your opinion? I'm not doing keys to victories and all that stuff anymore because at this point, right, it don't matter. They need to just win, man. Figure out a way to win. Just like Raheem said, they need to figure out a way. Figure out a way. Figure out a way. Right? So I'm not doing keys. Just win the game, man. I'm done with keys for this year. I don't care. They need to freaking win the game. You say quitter. I'm not quitting. I'm just not doing any keys. Right? I come out here and I talk about Atlanta Falcons every week. That's what I'm going to do. But I ain't trying to talk about what they need to do to win. Simple. I told you the 3 things they need to do to win. Right? And this is this simple. Stop the run. Be better on 3rd down. And freaking be better on special teams. Kick coverage, man. Those are 3 reasons Atlanta Falcons have lost these last 3 weeks, man. Those are 3 reasons, right? If they can fix those 3 things, Atlanta Falcons will win a game. I'm telling you, they win a game. Stop the run, be better on 3rd down, and be better on special teams. You'll win the freaking. I know that's offense, defense, and special teams. Like, dang, that's the whole team. Yes, those categories that I'm talking about. Be better in the run game on defense. Be better on 3rd down on offense, and be better in kick coverage on special teams, man. Dang, that's the keys for the rest of the freaking season. If they do that, they'll win it all. So, guys, there you have it. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Tuning in today to another show with your boy Ricondo with another video. Peace.